Good day, everyone. It's nice to see so many people here in Philly. Welcome to the premiere of our show, Franklin Night Live. I'm your host, Ben Franklin. You might have heard of me. We've got a great show planned for you tonight. Hopefully this will get higher ratings than my documentaries from PBS. You see, I just haven't been able to stick it in this 21st century media world. I mean, 1700s, everybody loved me. Newspapers, pamphlets, printing presses, I was the most popular guy around. But these days, no one cares about the Benjamin, just the Benjamins. It's a disgrace, if you ask me. So it looks like the effects of Hurricane Sandy are getting cleaned up, huh? Major props to the federal government. Everything getting cleaned up real quick. The roads are in order, you have street lights, fire stations, ambulances. Everything's working. Just great how advanced everything has gotten after just 200 years. Way more technology. Instead of horses, you have automobiles. Instead of mail, you have texting. And instead of ovens, oh wait, you have ovens. Well, America, I guess you've done something pretty cool with this man falling from space thing. Felix Baumgartner fell 25 miles off the edge of the planet's atmosphere. Simply incredible how advanced our world's sciences have become from the day of me electrocuting myself with a kite to jumping from the heavens. You must be really proud of your government space program. What a unique, groundbreaking idea. Not like you already did it 50 years ago. You know, we're finally done with this presidential race. What a waste. Both campaigns together spent nearly $3 billion. Lots of me being thrown around. Can you believe it? $3 billion. My God, what a wonderful use of money at that, especially when the economy is booming, jobs are aplenty, we're in a budget surplus. Oh wait, what's that? We're not. But you know, your political system leaves much to be desired. I mean, we founding fathers didn't just want you to follow the Constitution, we wanted you to use your brains. Common sense, people. Like working together. It's gotten so bad that New Jersey Governor Chris Christie recently got a lot of flack from his own party simply because he complimented the president who was helping his state tremendously. It's the most criticism Christie has ever faced from the Republican Party since he supported New York City's Mayor Bloomberg's ban on trans fat and supersized drinks, also known as Christie's personal diet plan.
I just love eating all of the time.
Hopefully, we'll eventually get over this divisive political climate, accept the results of the election, and begin to work together as Americans in writing for the benefit of this great country. In other news, the North Koreans' missile launched, Israel and Iran are living in harmony, and Karl Rove learned to count. From Philly, this is Franklin Night Live.
The Jersey Shore has been left in ruins after Hurricane Sandy. Our great friends that live on the Jersey Shore have been forced to leave due to this tragedy. This part of the country is extremely important to the American people. Please donate to help restore the Jersey Shore and the hundreds of thousands of people across the United States of America that are suffering as a result of the loss.
Welcome back to Franklin Night Live. I'm Ben Franklin, and tonight we'll be talking to Nicolas Cage about his recent part in the movie National Treasure. Welcome, Mr. Cage. How are you doing today?
Doing fine, doing fine.
So there's been a lot of talk about this film, hasn't there?
Yes, Ben, I believe it's one of my greatest works yet. I think we've really captured the American history and the Founding Fathers.
So can you tell us a little about the movie and how it relates to our history? I think we're all curious to hear about the infamous map appearing on the back of the Declaration of Independence. If I would have known about that, I would have gotten rich.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, where in the Declaration of Independence does it say a single word but a giant room full of gold behind Mount Rushmore, or the secret codes in the back of the document?
Well, but you see, in the middle of the page, there is...
Let me stop you right there, Nick. I was there when we wrote the thing. I believe I know what it says. Nowhere in that document are there any hidden clues or treasure maps. I mean, I could be wrong. It's been a while.
Ben, I don't believe you understand why.
Nick, do you enjoy lying to the American people?
I've only been trying to honor my role. It's a part of my job. We had to make it interesting somehow. Gotta make a living, you know.
Guess you're in desperate need of money. About the movie, I definitely wouldn't go see it. Trust me, I've lived through that time period once, and that was enough. So, for anyone who doesn't know what the movie's about, just to give a little background, basically they put together an astoundingly creative plot, a schizophrenic man, his nerd pal, a hot reporter, and his delusional father who spent 20 years of his life looking for a map that doesn't exist.
I'm not the writer, but I really think you're overanalyzing the movie. Here, we're just trying to make something historically represent as some of the past events.
This film is a disgrace to the Founding Fathers.
Finn, I think you're being a bit irrational about this.
Irrational, you say? And I thought I was a rationalist. Hey, just remember, I'm the one paying your bills. A hidden treasure map scattered through the documents of history of our great nation is irrational. Your entire career is irrational, Nick, just because you're the star of the movie. Do you think you're on top of the cage?
Excuse me?
You heard me. Are you on top of the cage? You feeling almighty and on top of the world because of this movie? I guess all the critics died when I did.
Well,
Anything else you'd like to add that we haven't covered already?
well, yeah, I mean, I think this is a little unfair.
Well, then, folks, let's hear it for Nicolas Cage. And much luck to you with your next movie. After this commercial, we'll be seeing Taylor Lautner and Robert Pattinson to discuss their success in the amazingly popular series Twilight and the new generation of vampires. How fascinating. We'll be back in a minute.
So dude, I'll bet you $20 that you can't swallow a spoon of this cinnamon, not drink anything for the next day, and live.
Now who gon' stop me? Who gon' stop me, huh? Who gon' stop me? Who gon' stop me, huh? Now who gon' stop me? Who gon' stop me, huh? Who gon' stop me? Who gon' stop me, huh?
On today's edition of Sue Who, Sue You, a new and disturbing trend is sweeping the nation. Men and women taking responsibility for their actions, for their crimes, by suing none other than themselves. Take it away, Cece.
Take the case of Rakamakrisha Shiri Shiva Gospel Ganesh Mahanana Rakamana, the Wall Street executive who has successfully sued himself for $7 million. The suit cited Rakanama's Christian G. Read the Bible organization, that a leading banking, now sharing much of the blame for this financial crisis.
Mr. Rajaratnam wildly underpriced risk and speculated recklessly. Much of our current financial turmoil stems from this kind of behavior, and it's time I started sending a message to fat cats like me.
The language of the settlement legitimizes Mr. Rakanam's Shrisha Masha Kesha, the flip new phone, grievances with Mr. Rakanama. The seven-figure payoff is a clear signal that those responsible for the crisis will be forced to pay themselves for their misdeeds. When asked if he felt justice had been served, Mr. Flipphone cautioned that more widespread lawsuits might be called for in a general sense, but affirmed that the settlement was satisfactory to him for the time being.
This goes a long way towards being fair towards the innocent investors of my company, those average Joes just like you who got duped by my malpractices. Mr. Rajaratnam made serious mistakes, and it's time that Mr. Rajaratnam answered for them, ideally to Mr. Rajaratnam. That's why I'm suing myself for $7 million, so the US government will pay me an additional $7 million. That's what makes this country great.
But don't worry, it's just a fat cat. At least bankers, being so moral, rational, and responsible, is also citizens just like you. The Ohio man who threw a boomerang that flew back and hit him on the head has sued himself for $500,000 and won. Mr. Red J. Neck of Liberty Township has awarded the windfall sum after a court determined that caused bodily harm through negligence and carelessness. And shockingly, it will not cost him a dime because all the money he won comes from his insurance company.
Mr. Neck chose State Farm because he knew we covered the important things. I mean, in petty cases of pre-existing conditions and natural disasters, we're not going to pay for that. But if you hit yourself with a boomerang, I mean, that's when it gets serious. That's our bread and butter right there. That's when State Farm is there for you.
Which Mr. Neck claims affected his money and has caused him to lose several IQ points. He said he was planning to sue the boomerang manufacturer until his lawyer advised him against it. A statement from Mr. Neck portrayed his disgust with his own actions, making it clear that the despicable and completely intentional act of violence that was committed against me, but me, was simply unacceptable and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of law.
Wow, that is simply tremendous. I'm so glad to see these intelligent, righteous, and most importantly, rational American heroes doing what is right, no matter the cost or penalty for themselves. What great people. We need more people like that, America. Wow, if only.